Hey y'all, what's going on? I just love these. I want to ask a question real quick before I start the subject. Okay, anyway, hey y'all, TGIF, yeah, that. But anyway, before I start the listening, one of the things that came through my mind, we're gonna have to take these off because I can't be jiggling through the whole video. One thing that came through my mind, like the people that have the real locks, like, do y'all get upset when y'all see us with the like crochet walk by and you like this? She ain't even put in the work in the time because it feels like, you know what I mean? I feel like a little funny sometimes when I see somebody with some like real locks. And I'm like, damn, I can't wait till mine get like this. So yeah, these are crochets, but yeah, I love them. I actually washed them with while they were in my still in my hair, and it made it more kind of kinky like, and I like that too. It looks more natural. But what happened was I forgot to soak the hair and wash it before I put it in my hair. Don't judge me. And it's synthetic. And it irritates me. I don't know if it's the color or if it's the it's some type of chemical in it. Somebody told me that does it. So I forgot to do it. So I did it while I had it crocheted in because my scalp was irritating me and like itching. So I said, let me wash this thing. So it came out natural. So yeah, do y'all be like some kind of way? Because it's like the same thing with the C-section versus natural birth. Like me, I had to have emergency C-section, and sometimes I feel like I had to like explain why, I had to have it because, I guess I didn't really, because my mom, she I always tell my mom, she's like my first bully and still like the only bully because I don't get bullied, but but she was like, yeah, you ain't have your child the natural way, you know what I'm saying? You took the what she said, you took the shortcut. I'm like, ma, whatever. But yeah, so like, do y'all feel like that too? Do y'all feel like y'all, the ones who had the natural birth, y'all more powerful, or y'all took it better, or was, what I'm saying, was the whole delivery process, I guess more natural and I guess more official because you had it natural, and the rest of us had to take a seat. Well, I had to get one. Like I wanted to have my child naturally. So there's people that actually schedule them, but they say, like, I guess a lot of times the people that schedule them also for medical reasons. So, but anyway, let's get on topic. That's not what this video is about. How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing fine. So I don't know what's going on with Facebook, but I can't, like, you remember before how I used to just save my videos on there and y'all could just watch it. Now, I don't know, it keeps kicking me out and stuff. So I just put it on my YouTube channel that I had started probably about 3 years ago, maybe. And you'll see some old videos up there. So you'll see a whole bunch of stuff with me talking about whatever. Like I cover stuff from all angles of whatever. But today I wanted to talk about something that crossed my mind, was about like how, you know how some of us women, we with some of y'all, however y'all want to put it, how we would like get so angry and be upset with people, like especially like with our kids' father, if they're not like active in their life, and they're a father or dad and they're already in another relationship and stuff like that. And a lot of us still hold on to that anger. And I just want to talk about that. And I'm going to be very straight and to the point. This is not to take shots at nobody. This is not to yeah, just basically the ain't trying to take no shots at nobody, but it's just about to like help somebody else as well, and like how I've kind of like overcame a lot of anger in regards to that. So first of all, I would just like to say, like, a lot of us, also the ones who've kind of like healed and kind of like graduated, we got to understand like people are still in that situation. So it's hard for me sometimes. I got to catch myself, so I apologize if I'm talking and I'm just like, oh, you should do this, you should do that, because I'm already at a certain level in life. So we got to understand that even though there are people who are still going through the same thing, us as healers or us as people that's kind of like gotten over certain situations and moved on in our life and like elevated, we got to understand that our delivery is important. So again, I do apologize if it comes off as like I'm thinking I'm better, or you should do this or you should do that. Like, I apologize. I don't mean to make it come out that way, but I'm just letting you know like how I'm looking at it now from different lens. So anyway, most of y'all know the situation. I know I'm a single mom. My son Donovan just turned 16, and in the beginning things were cool. He was around more often, very active in his life. I guess because we were living together, it made it easier. And that's another thing. Like, I think that plays a big part in a lot of times of how these men react or interact with the child. And it's like, if they're not, and it's like, if it's not comfortable or suitable or, convenient enough for them, it's like, oh well I can't because either I live out of town or either I'm in another relationship or either I did this or whatever. But I kind of, I think that kind of played a part in it. I think it was because, we wasn't together. But I tried to definitely keep, like most of us, we definitely try to keep the relationship going and so forth. And I don't want to get all into the background of it. Bottom line is, I feel like a lot of us, the point that I'm trying to make, to be honest with you, I'm gonna just get straight to it. I just said that twice, right? The point I'm trying to make is we gotta understand, we gotta look at things. A lot of us are mad with people who aren't capable of being responsible individuals to our to our children, who can't be role models and instill certain morals and values in our children. So I don't understand why we get so upset when we know that these type of people, are doing sometimes the best that they can. And to be honest with you, I had to come to the realization, because I used to get like pissed off, you know what I'm saying? And I used to bark at him, and he knows it because he'd be like, you know what I'm saying? And I just was like, I wanted him to, like be this person and all this other stuff. And the thing about it is I met him a certain kind of way. And in his defense, I met him really young. My son's father is 5 years younger than me, and I met him at like 19. So I get it. He was nowhere near trying to be, or could have been, a father. So I understood that early on. And that's why I had a conversation with him like, look, I got my baby. I want to keep my baby. If you want to be here, you can. If not, no problem. Like, I understand. And I was like I sincerely, he could tell you that. So it wasn't that type of situation. It was a situation where after like a couple of years, I'm like, okay, I get it. You were young. Now, he's getting older. He's going to need someone to teach him how to pee, how to, be masculine, how to, deal with that male testosterone and all this other stuff. Like, I'm not going to be able to do that. Like, as hard as I am, and as much as I'm like a dude, or, people like, oh, Mar, you just like one of the niggas. I get it. I could still never teach him certain things. There's certain things he's going to need to get from you. A certain energy he's going to need to pull from you. There's certain things you're going to need to pour into him that I thought that I couldn't. But at the end of the day, yes, both parties are needed, whether it's there on a daily basis, but it's needed regardless. So I found myself being angry, and I found myself like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And what I had to tell myself is, over time, I'm just like, I don't think my son would have been any better. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that, I think that the situation and how it happened and how everything went, like we get so upset and we get so like, oh, it should have went this way, but who's to say which way it's supposed to go or how it's supposed to be? You know what I mean? He's here. He is an amazing child. And I'm not saying it's just because I'm trying to be biased or because I just want to, I'm saying soup it up. But I sit back and like just the other day, because, he turned 16 recently. And I was like, damn, I'm proud of myself. Like, I didn't think I would be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? I actually told somebody this because I went back to the hood or whatever, had my son with me. And of course, the Don, the Prince, he dresses nice and he has his own style, and he has his own swag, and you can sense his presence when he comes around, just like his mom. So this guy came up to me and his wife, and he was like, yo, that's Don. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you did a damn good job. Like, yo, the way he look and stuff, like, yo, does he model and shit? I'm like, nah. They was just like, yo, he doing it. Like, I'm proud of you. I was like, yeah. And I was just like, I sincerely said to them, like, yo, I swear I didn't even know how I was going to do it. Like, I look at him and I said, like, wow, what I mean? He was like the strength that I needed when I couldn't, when I didn't know what to do. Like, he knew, like, no child comes with instruction manuals, right? But he came down with like enough information to take on and teach himself things when I didn't have the strength or didn't know how to do it. And I mean, like, stuff like, I've said this before in other posts, like, he took out his own teeth when they were loose. Like, he taught himself how to swim. He got up and just started walking on his own. It took me maybe 2 hours to potty train him, and like, he picked it up. He would memorize songs. Like, he just was a dope individual. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I was overwhelmed by him, and I was angry. And I didn't know how to deal with him, because I was also, I was just angry at men in general. And I think a lot of us are that way. We're angry at our dads because of the lies and because of this. We're angry at this person. We're angry at that person. And it's just like, I was so angry to the point, like, I think I even said in my post the other day, like, what was I thinking? Where was I at? What was my mind state? I mean, I was drinking Pride and Clark and Paul Masson. And again, this is no shade, but the shit was like eating me up, making me sick. Like, it just was doing a lot of damage and stuff. And like, mentally I was out of it. But when I was able to, like, literally after I moved out of Jersey City, that's when I had time to myself. I was away from any distractions, any influences, and I had to be alone with my son. And at that time, he was what, 11? Because we've been out here probably about, I think he just was turning 11. We've been out here about maybe 5, 6 years, and he's now going into middle school. Next was high school. So this was like a real pivotal moment and important time to where I had to figure some things out. And I had to stop, I had to stop being angry. I had to stop reaching out. I had to stop all of this stuff because it's like I'm pulling my son into something that he really doesn't need. Like let me focus that energy on who can be a role model for him, who can whatever. Because like I said, a lot of us is upset at these men who we know ain't capable of, of being, good role models or raising a child. You know what I'm saying? Especially yours, and especially the way, I would say, especially the way that you feel as though need to be done the correct way. You know what I mean? I'm not knocking anyone's parenting skills. I'm not knocking his. I don't know what goes on in his house. So I don't, whatever, but and knowing him and knowing and when we do run into each other, like it's you can see, and you would be able to tell the way, you would be able to tell if things were any different if he was more proactive in your child's life. So you just kind of know it's the same thing because it's the same thing that you've been dealing with for years. Now if your child is like under 5, you still got time to grow with that person. You still got time to sit down. You still got time to like figure some things out. But when they're like 16, 10 years old, it's like at this particular time, you should stop being mad. You should stop getting upset talking about niggas ain't shit and fuck this nigga and this and that. Like, first of all, I've never said that. Like, I've always had my door open. I've always allowed my son to interact with his dad. But the times that the interactions happen, like the living situation wasn't right, he would come home and he wouldn't be right. You know what I'm saying? So, but I ate it and I dealt with it because I had this, I was thinking to myself, well, maybe, I don't want to put my ways and impose whatever. I want him to figure out who he is and who his dad is and whatever. So, but like clockwork, my little bougie prince would call me within 24 to 40 hours, like, Ma, come get me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just was used to certain kind of things. And I look at a lot of us who are single moms and stuff, and it's just like, yo, we doing it. You know what I'm saying? We got a beautiful roof over our kids' head. Like my mom told me the other day, she was just like, 'cause my son, when he talks, yo, his vocabulary is up to part. Like you will hear him use pronouns and adjectives, and he has words like he speaks, he vocalizes himself. He's very well spoken, and she was just like, I can't believe. You know what I'm saying? How well he's talking about. She's like, I could just tell, the change in like the school system and stuff like that. She's like, it's just amazing. So, I'm proud of myself, and we don't give ourselves enough credit. You know what I'm saying? We figure, oh, I done messed up this and that. He turned out just fine. Better than I thought that, you know what I'm saying? He turned out just fine. We have talks, he's very open with me. It was definitely a rough period where both of us were like, going through something emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was very angry and I took a lot of my anger out on him. And then at the same time, he was male. I didn't even understand or know at the time that I had a lot of anger towards men. And I had a son. That's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? We talked about that. I did counseling for a little while, and he did counseling and stuff, and then just a lot of things. And it's just like, I'm saying all this to say, like, sometimes we need to divert our attention into what we doing and what's going on. If that man is not in your child's life, find another male role model. Open yourself up to accept that. Like, I was so blessed with so many great role models in my son's life. Like, he doesn't, and again, this is not to be funny or whatever, and I don't want to speak for him, but I don't see that he's like, oh, where's my dad? I wish my dad was around. Like, I have talks with him about that. I say, whatever. And he'd be like, oh, yeah, but I kind of figured he wasn't going to make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not disappointed, but he respects and he loves him where he is in life. And that helped me. Like, he is so mature about things and is so understanding of people. Like, he's not judgmental. He's not really angry. I mean, like I said, he may definitely, of course, anybody will want whatever. You know what I mean? Because, but the thing about it is we grew together. Like, we dealt with it together. And I said, am I going to be angry about this? Constantly, year after year, and nothing is changing. Like, what's the point? You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of us, like, after a while, just stop being angry, stop trying to be combative, whatever. When this man comes around, I'm not upset I'm cracking jokes. I'm asking him, how's his day? Like, yo, is my new car parked outside yet? Like, I talk shit. You know what I'm saying? He knows that. Anybody that's around us know it's no beef. I'm not rolling my eyes. I've never kicked his back in. I just speak facts and what it is. And it's because like I just came to the point where it's just like, you know what? My son is good. We good. We living good. I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? He's happy. This boy is more privileged and got more shit going for him than most grown niggas. You understand what I'm saying? Like he's more responsible than most grown niggas. You know what I mean? So I don't no longer get upset about that. And I understand. I tell people, like I said, like I can't tell you this is what you should do, whatever, whatever. But stop getting upset and stressed on it. Like it's so hurtful and stressful because you honestly think that your child is being hurt. That's what I thought. I was just like, oh, he's probably being hurt, this and that, and he wasn't being affected by nothing. He like, man, I got all my snacks. He's the only child, still the only child, so he is spoiled rotten. His food get cooked a certain way. He got all his snacks. His friends come over all the doggone time because they know he got the banging snacks. His room is set up dope. You know what I mean? He had like a 60-inch TV in his room before I did. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just, he has a lot of stuff going for him. You know what I mean? He can go out like yesterday, him and his friends decided at the last minute they wanted to go to Great Adventures. I said, well, who driving? Because usually I'm the parent that got to get up and, do whatever because I made myself flexible like that for my son because I had to be. But when the parents was like, I'll take them, I'm like, cool. He already got his, his season pass. He has his what's it called? I just found out about this Apple Pay, and my credit card is on there. So if he needs something, like, he's good to go. And I'm like, I'm not missing anything. He's not lacking anything. And the crazy thing, and again, not to get too personal or try to take shots, but the crazy thing is like we went through the court system and child support thing. And that was because I wanted to take full custody of my son. Because I was thinking about relocating. And he was like, oh, you're not taking my son, and wanted to be extra with us. I'm like, whatever, we going to court. He didn't show up. So like, I kind of figures, I'm like, yeah, he's here. He loves him, but he doesn't. It's not like a go, like, I have some friends that I know personally. And some of y'all just want to give a shout out to, like, who are like fathers. Like, I know one dude, he used to get his child like half the year and the baby mother the other half. You understand what I'm saying? Like just active. So I knew like he wasn't a go, like, like that. So push come, whatever. I went there for that. And then, they said, well, he has to pay a certain amount of money. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And I think it was like $50 a week. Still, I think I found like an old letter or something. I just happened to pull it up and look, and I'm like, oh, this case is still here. Like I even forgot about it because I'm just like, for $50 a week, which I'm not getting. I mean, I've gotten things here and there, whatever. But my son spent. I sent that with him to the mall for just like pocket change, and that's for one day. So it's just like we sit up here getting pissed off and upset about what. You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't make any sense. So just come to a place where you say, you know what, this is what's going on, and this is what it's going to be. And you have to accept that. And then I think a lot of it, and I'm not even going to sit up here in front, a lot of it I think has to do with the fact that there really wasn't no feelings really involved. When I met him, like I was like in a real low place in my life. That's a whole nother video. And I hate when people say that I was in a dark place, whatever. I mean, fuck it. It is what it is. I was getting high living, doing what 20-year-olds that got their own place, a car, and a job do. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't bothering nobody. I was doing me. And, being young and stuff. And he was a dude that sold weed on the street. I thought was cute. And, I was just knocking, I was just doing me. You know what I'm saying? I was attracted to him. I'm like, oh, I'm about to eat him up for lunch. You know what I'm saying? And come to find out, he was cool. I liked him. He stayed around, and he don't get me wrong, a sweet person, like has a great heart. Like he was just cool. You know what I mean? Didn't stress me out and nothing like that. Wound up, getting pregnant. I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep my baby or whatever. And that's just how it happened. So I think a lot of the reasons why a lot of y'all are upset is because y'all have feelings. Y'all was in love and they hurt you, and you just feel like, they never came and apologized and whatever. But a lot of times, a lot of these men don't want to have kids. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these men, y'all made the decision, just like I made the decision for my son. You know what I mean? And then you want them to be, or, I'm father. I mean, some men do. Some men, have that automatic connection, whatever, but you got to understand, like, that's not something that they wanted to do. They didn't sit you down and said, you know what, I want to have all these kids with you. I want to only be with you. I want to be with you for the rest of my life. No, y'all was just vibing. Things were going good, and it just happened. You know what I'm saying? So I also take that into consideration. You know what I mean? That I'm this especially at his age, like he was trying to do what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Just having a good time and trying to figure out life. So, the animosity and, whatever, because I see posts sometimes where, and they be funny, I ain't gonna lie, where they say, oh, if you would you either do jail time or get back with your ex or your baby father or this and that. And, people, the women be going in like, bitch, I'd rather do a life, you know what I mean, all this other stuff. And it's just like, I be wanting to comment sometimes, like, I did comment on one. Yo, one of them was funny as hell. I think it was my boy Woo. What's up? Well, who's on here? He posted. He said some of y'all baby daddies, be letting them throw meat in his mouth at the hibachi grill. I was like, shit, and probably let him pour sake, probably shoot sake in his mouth at the same time. So it was just funny or whatever. But it's no ill will. He knows that. I know that, and stuff like that. But it starts to show. You know what I mean? Because as soon as the child asks about their dad, you rolling their eyes and whatever. Like, listen, you gotta take responsibility for the type of dude that you chose to have a baby with, for one. You know what I mean? For two, I'm not forcing nobody to love my child. I'm not forcing nobody to take care of him. Like, he's so dope. I don't want to share him anyway. So it is cool with me. I used to be upset, like, oh God, he wanna go see his father. Ugh. I don't want, you know what I'm saying? You know the situation ain't right. You like, oh man, all right, but you got to bite your tongue. You got to hold it in because it's just something that needs to be done. So that's it. That's all I had to say. This is got kind of long and out the way. But I look at this. It's my cat with his fat ass trying to jump up to get on the windowsill knowing he too big and fell down. But anyway, yeah, you doing your thing, sis. You making moves. Your child is good. They healthy. They are flourishing. Have conversations, open dialogue with your children. It is what it is. And 9 times out of 10, and this is some true shit. 9 times out of 10, when somebody messes you over, look at all the people. I sit back and it's something else that I was going through a big healing process and things was just coming up and whatever like that. Look at all the people that have done some shit to you or have hurt you or have altered your life in a way that changed you drastically and caused you trauma. Look at how their life is. And you can't, again, we're not living in nobody's house. A lot of us are seeing shit through Facebook, but a lot of us do know people outside of Facebook and outside of social media, and we do know what's going on. Yeah. A lot of them are not flourishing. A lot of them are, you look and be like, damn, life fucked you up. You know what I'm saying? Because you're such a fucked up person. So I just like to smile. So if you wonder why at 41 years old, some of us look the way we do, because we don't stress over nothing. We don't stress over nothing. We don't have no ill will in our blood. We don't have none of that's poison in our system. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. So over and out, y'all. I'll come back probably later or tomorrow with another video or something else to talk about, because I want to talk about how, like, the next thing I want to talk about, because there got to be some of us out here that is dealing or with somebody who has raised the bar. You understand what I'm saying? And once you start realizing how much better off you are and how dope you are, you start attracting and pulling in and only allowing that type of shit in your life. So I want to say, this song came to mind with Usher. Y'all know I like to sing from time to time. Situations will arise in our lives, but you gotta be smart about it. Celebration. That's what you gotta do. You gotta celebrate. All right? All right, y'all. Over and out.